guys, it is Tanya and welcome back to the channel and to another speed build. Today I'm back with a larger family home, which it's been a little bit since I've done something not tiny or small or squished or micro or, small. So I'm very excited to share this one with you guys. I really wanted to sit down and build kind of a farmhouse. I kind of had a vague idea of maybe a farmhouse, maybe an off-the-grid family home. I wasn't really sure, but I did end up with just a farmhouse. I didn't make this off the grid. I feel like it's really difficult in game to have off-the-grid homes that are really large because it doesn't work the same way it does in real life, and it's more like candlelit. And I don't know. I could do an off-the-grid large family home at some point if you guys would like to see it. I just felt like for the idea I had for this one, it didn't quite work. But the outside's shape is fairly simple. It's very similar to what we have now. I do change the top portion a bit, and then this bump out over on the left side disappears. But like usual, I did fiddle quite a bit with the shape of the house, everything I wanted to do with it. So you'll see a lot of going back and forth, but I cut out a ton of footage because this build took me so long. I've been working on this for days and so I hope you guys like it. So this house does come in at 111,000 simoleons, so it's not incredibly affordable, but it's a rather large house. I believe this is a 40 by 30 lot, and it does have 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and an office, tons of outdoor space as well, and a garage. So there's a lot of space in this house, so I don't think that's too bad of a price. I don't think I went too over the top, but you guys can let me know. But if you guys would like to download this house, it is available on the Sims 4 gallery if you search Gryphi or the hashtag MsGryphi. That information is also down below, as well as a direct download link to the gallery website if you find it easier to download it that way. So we're working on the roof right now, and like I mentioned, I do change it up a bit. I did think about having this border on the side. That's why I had placed down a floor and dragged that all the way across, but I decided to get rid of that in the end. And this is when I was like, okay, we're going to have solar panels. This may or may not be an off-the-grid house, but either way, I feel like for the theme of a farmhouse, I liked the idea of using solar energy in some way, shape, or form. Obviously, these don't actually function in the game, though I would love that if we had functioning solar panels. That would be so cool and perfect for an off-the-grid house. Don't even get me started on that. But anyway, I put those decorative solar panels up there. I believe those come with Get Famous. They're in the Show Live Edit Objects cheat. I use a lot of that cheat in pretty much all of my builds. So if you ever see an item that you're like, I have all the packs, I have no idea what that is, it's most likely from that. But here we are drawing in a little driveway into our garage area. It's a pretty open garage. I do add windows to it to kind of look like open doors. But it's still very, very open. But I really liked how it came out. I was just having a lot of fun with this build, a lot of experimentation. I talk about this a lot, but sometimes I just have a vague idea of what I want to build and I just wing it. And this was definitely one of those builds where I was just having a grand old time and I had a lot of fun with this one. So hopefully that comes across, especially in the landscaping. I went to town with landscaping on this build. I also changed the color of it way too many times, the outside, so I cut most of that out. I probably spent a good hour switching the colors of this house, and it ends up being like brown and white or black and white. It's a very simple color scheme, but I tried a lot of other funky colors. So as we're changing the structure of the house, you'll see the colors are just different all the time. I don't show me actually changing the colors, but this is the final color scheme we end up going with this brownish reddish brick on the bottom and white paneling up top. I think it looks really nice and kind of that classic farmhouse look that I was going for. I was just also trying to get out of my comfort zone and try some more fun colors, but I've done some fun color things lately, so it's okay. I've been using a lot of yellow in my builds lately. I don't know if you guys noticed. A ton of my more recent builds, especially tiny houses, have been yellow, and I don't know what it is, but I'm loving it. But this was a nice break from that. It's a mixture of styles on the inside like usual. I tried to make it kind of cozy. There's a lot of light and dark woods inside, but you'll see that when we get to it. Right now we're still working on the landscaping, which like I mentioned, I went a little overboard with, but I really wanted it to be a bit overgrown, not too crazy messy, but I really really like how it came out, and I used a lot of these grasses from Show Live Edit Objects, from Windenburg in particular, because this is placed in Windenburg, so I like to grab the plants from there to make it match the world it's in. But also Windenburg plants from Show Live Edit Objects are my favorite Show Live Edit Objects plants, and I use them all of the time, and I just can't stop. So I made sure to use those. And then we added a swing set and laundry, everything you would need for laundry outside as well, so that you can go ahead and do that. Of course, then if you wanted to, actually use this house as an off-the-grid home, you could do that. You would just replace lights, and we have some of the objects you would want in this house anyway. But I just decided in the end it wouldn't make a lot of sense for what I wanted to do with it for it to be off the grid. But that's definitely something you guys could do if you decide to play with this house. But we're doing some more landscaping. We're out here for quite a while, but terrain paint. And I actually lined the pathway with some other dirt in a little bit. I really enjoyed using those base game pink flowers around the lot. I just think they add a little bit of color and life to the landscaping, because I definitely have a preference for mostly green in my landscaping. I don't use a lot of flowers and color, but sometimes it's nice to change it up. So that's what we did here today. And now we are moving on into the garage space. Like I mentioned, it's pretty open. We do have the flower arranging table. I also added some bikes and our easel, a woodworking bench, some storage. So you'll see a bunch of crates and stuff I'm going to be adding in here. And I believe I also added the decoration bucket right there from Seasons, because you got to store that somewhere, like all your Christmas decorations or whatever holiday you celebrate decorations. I think that was kind of cool. And then some tires from Strangerville as well. I love the debug items from Strangerville. I feel like I just said debug really weird, and I don't know why it came out like that, so excuse me. But those items are so good. But here we are figuring out the floor plan. I did mess around with it a lot off camera, but then this is what I came to on camera. So, I forgot, in addition to all of the rooms I mentioned, we also have a piano room, which is something that I feel like I see a lot in real life, but I don't think I've ever put into action in a speed build before. So there's a piano room in this build, which is kind of exciting. I can imagine the kids getting piano lessons and stuff. I know growing up I had piano lessons. I was horrible. I don't really remember much of anything. I didn't do very good with instruments. I also used to play clarinet in a band, and that didn't go too well, because I went to practice all the time. I practiced at home, and it was like, oh, tomorrow's the concert, everybody. So I promptly went to band practice and I quit. So I didn't do very I didn't want to perform in a concert. I didn't feel like I could do that. So little fourth grade Tanya was like, I'm out. No, thank you. Anyway, back to the build. We were figuring out the floor plan upstairs, but now we're downstairs and working on the kitchen. I did this whole kitchen a couple different times and deleted it. And then this was my final attempt at it, because I could not decide on a color scheme, because I was kind of going back and forth with a little bit of an outdated kitchen using these same countertops, but in the green swatch, but I wasn't liking how it was coming out, and I really wanted this more light and airy look, especially with the whites on the outside of the build. So that's what I ended up doing, and I like it a whole lot better. Also, this backsplash in the kitchen is base game, and it's one of my favorite backsplashes in the game. I feel like I always want to use it, so I probably overuse it a little bit between this one and the Parenthood ones, but those are the best ones we have, and I hope we get more nice tiles and backsplashes in the future. I really want just a kitchen pack, and I know we have Cool Kitchen, but I didn't think Cool Kitchen was all that cool, so I would like a new edition of that. Can we get Hot Kitchen or something? I have no idea. That sounds really weird, but can we get a different kitchen pack? Can we get another kitchen pack? Maybe, I don't know what it would be, because we already have a game pack dedicated to owning and operating restaurants, and then we have a stuff pack about kitchen stuff. So I don't know, but we need more kitchen counters and backsplashes and everything for kitchens. So if they could work that into some sort of pack, or it's just oh, here's an expansion pack about farming, but here's this whole new kitchen set to match your beautiful farmhouse. I feel like this set looks really nice in that setting, but I'm totally down for more. I would love that. Or if we ever get the kind of stereotypical futuristic pack, if we get nice, sleek, modern kitchen counters, That would be so nice. I just really want simple stuff. I feel like I talked about this recently, that there's a lot of items in the game I wish we had simple versions of, and we just don't. But I just talked over most of the kitchen. You saw it come together. I really like how it came out, and we are moving on into the dining room. Whenever I use these big windows from laundry day in a build, I always make it the dining space because it's just such a nice area to have your Sims gather and have like a nice meal together. And so that's what we did here, just adding a fireplace over on this wall. I kept changing my mind about what color I wanted the brick because I thought that red brick looked so nice outside, and parts of the inside it looked nice too, but I didn't like the color of it in this space, so we ended up going for a gray instead. But here we are adding a bunch of plants and a bunch of these blinds up on these windows, and I just really like it. Also, this table is a base game one that I don't use that often because it's, obviously a little bit run down, or not maybe run down, but it's not perfect. It's got imperfections. It's definitely man-made, and I really, really like that. All tables are man-made, but you know what I mean. It wasn't like super manufactured. It's like natural pieces of wood or something. I don't know. I really like it, and I think it paired very nicely with the chairs from Cats and Dogs. So quite enjoyed that. And then here we are. You saw me deleting a bunch of walls so I could get that mirror up on the fireplace because I thought that would look really nice up there. I think it's pretty realistic. A lot of people have fireplaces with mirrors above them, so I wanted to add that detail to the room. But this is the piano room. In this room, I felt like the red brick worked just fine. And I believe we just add like a cozy place to sit in here and a bookcase. It's just a nice little space. It's kind of like a skill building room if you want a sim that's really, really good at piano. I feel like I haven't done that in a really long time because it's hard to fit grand pianos into houses. And I've mentioned like 1,000 times before how much I just want a stand-up piano. I know we have organs and I know we have keyboards, but then we just have grand pianos. I want a stand-up piano so badly because I don't think it's that realistic to have a grand piano in your house unless you have a mansion. But that's what we did in this house, and I think it worked kind of because of the shape of the room. But I still would really, really like to have a stand-up piano at some point. Let me know if you guys relate to that. If you grew up, either you had one or somebody in your family did or a friend, or if you went to piano lessons. Like, I wasn't practicing piano on a grand piano. I was on a stand-up piano in like my babysitter's basement. Like, it was I don't know. I just think it would be cool and relatable to have that at some point, and space saving for sure. I feel like I'd have more pianos in houses. And I know like you can get CC of things. A lot of times when I mention things I want in the game, people are like, oh, this CC creator did this or this or that. And I'm like, yeah, but I want it actually in the real game, if that makes sense. I'm sure lots of you relate because not everyone likes to use CC. But we are on into the living room now. I think this is maybe my least favorite room in the house, but I do really like how the TV area came together, which will take a little while to get there. But I think it came out pretty cute. It is a cozy space. I really wanted it to be strongly, this is a family home. So I did add like toys and this cute little panda chair in here. And some other clutter on the table, like a bunch of kids' toys, which I really liked. I combined this basket with this little play toy thing from Parenthood and then added some other toys in it. And I just think it looks so cute to have this little basket of toys on the table. I don't know. I was very excited about it. So hopefully you guys like that too. I just think it looks really cute. But here we are working on the entertainment area of the room. And I did use these tables from laundry day we should be grabbing shortly. I have one way and one backwards on the other side. So you have some open shelving on one side and then the other side is closed off. Maybe those could be like sliding doors that open in some way, shape, or form. Or not, I'm not really sure, but I liked how it looked having this full wall-to-wall shelving unit or cabinet space. I'm not really sure what to call it. I think it looked really nice, so hopefully you guys like that too. Just adding some books and stuff. I did size them up to make them these big chunky books. I liked how that looked. And a little doggy statue. I don't remember if we added anything for animals in this house. I'm kind of thinking we didn't, but I could really see some dogs or some cats at this house. This would be a really cute home to have, like animals running around. Maybe the kids really want a dog and they're asking for one and they're hoping mom and dad will, or mom and mom or dad and dad or whoever will be like, please. And they'll be like, yes, we can get a dog. But hopefully the parents will be responsible, because never get your kids a pet with them being solely responsible. It's a very, very bad idea. Anyway, I think that would be a really cute idea. This is the entryway to the house. and it's very simple in here. I use this little end table from Cats and Dogs, one of my favorite end tables in the game. Then this is the downstairs bathroom. I feel like the bathrooms in this house were nothing special. I feel like I have a lot more fun with bathrooms when they're a little bit more modern, and then I do like custom showers with the Discover University shower. I have so much fun with that, but this is a little bit more of an older style house, farmhouse, and I just felt like the items we already had in the game made more sense for it, but it made it so that they weren't as fun of bathrooms. Although I don't find bathrooms that fun to decorate to begin with, so they came out all right, I think. We use these sinks from Parenthood. I really like these sinks. I think they are super cute. And then, of course, using the red shelf to place some toothbrushes up on the sink. If you've ever wondered what that red shelf is, it is a piece of custom content I use. It allows you to place items at more precise levels. You can do that with a regular shelf too, except this has way more slots to it, so it's a lot easier to use in the way that I use it to, put anything at any level you'd like to, as long as it snaps to the shelf. Not everything does, but a lot more does to the shelf than a regular in-game shelf. That's what I meant. So if you guys are interested in that shelf, you've seen me or other simmers use it, I do have a link down below in the description of every video on where you can go ahead and download that shelf. And also in my tutorials playlist, I do have a tutorial on how to download, install, and use the shelf, some things you can do with it if you were ever curious about that. So anyway, we are upstairs in this little office space. It's a very small room. I had this awkward space over here, and I was like, okay, we're going to have a hallway closet, and then I don't know what the other room is going to be. But I realized there was no computer in this house, and you kind of need one in game. So I made us a little office space. That could also be like a tiny nursery, but as that kid grows up, it's not going to have much space. So that could be a problem. But that could definitely be a nursery or whatever else. Another skill building room of sorts. I could see that working really well for just any space like that. But this is the master bedroom. It's very green and brown. I think it's super cozy, and I think that painting above the bed is, whenever I think of, okay, I'm going to build a farmhouse, I always think of that painting hanging on the wall somewhere in the house. I don't know why. But then this is like a teenager's room. I use like a purple and blue color scheme in here. I think it came out really cute. This is probably my favorite bed in the game. I think it's obvious. I overuse this bed like crazy, especially in teenagers' rooms or like lofts or whatever. I really want to build another loft sometime soon, but I really don't know what style. I've done like a colorful artist loft. I've done an industrial loft. I've done tiny lofts. I'm not really sure what the next loft is. If you guys would like to see another loft build, what style would you like to see it in? Please let me know, because I'm interested in doing another one sometime soon. But we're adding a little guitar over here with these amps that are actually a stereo from Moschino stuff. So there's actually 2 stereos in this room, but I thought it looked cute to have a stereo on the bedside table, even though the amps function as a stereo as well. So we're going to ignore the fact that you can have 2 different things playing and it'll be obnoxious in here. But I mean, I did that when I was younger. I mean, it's realistic. Maybe you want to listen to 2 different things. It's a possibility. So this is the kids' bedroom. I do have a shared room in here. It's very like green and blue. I wanted to use these carpets from Toddler Stuff, I think. And I was trying to figure out a color scheme that I thought could work. And I had no idea what I was doing going into this room. I was just like, I want a kids' room and I want to use these rugs because I never use these rugs. And it turned out that the beds that worked the best were these very simple, green and blue ones. So that's what we ended up doing. This room is a bit mismatched, but I think it worked out pretty well for a kid's room. You could have whoever you'd like in here. So this house has 3 bedrooms, but it has room for 5 Sims or more if you decide to change that office into a nursery. So it's a pretty spacious house. But anyway, we're coming to the end of the video. I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And if you click that bell, it'll turn on notifications to be notified of every single time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye, everybody.